Audiences only, so your mom is definitely invited. Sometimes controversial, always engaging. It's the podcast that lets your voice be heard. It's the podcast that shouts you out. It's time to holler. Can you dig it?
I could eat a unicorn one day through a Pop-Tart.
I like toasters.
You like the dizzy part?
Yeah, I like the way it explodes in my mouth. And to swallow it down, oh my God.
Your tweets, snaps, Facebook comments, and even phone calls. Holler any way you want.
They used to give kids opiates to keep them quiet.
This is much less offensive than that.
JD, Brian, and Gracie. Holler at your boys and a girl.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a brand new year, new me, same problems. You already know what it is. Welcome to Holler. It's the podcast that shouts you out. This is our 100th episode, everybody. What's up?
100. Here we go.
We're so looking forward to everything. We got so much great stuff in store for you this evening. It's so much fun. My name is JD. You can hit me up on all social media at JD Short. And right here to this direction is my good buddy Brian. How you doing, Brian? What's happening?
Holler Nation 2023. We're so happy to be here. Seriously, I don't know. We've got lots of funny things to talk about. It feels like so many things have went wrong, but at the same time, dude, so many things have been right. Look at us right now. We're live on a podcast. We've got Tim here with us. But first, let's talk to Gracie down here. Gracie, are you live down there? Are you awake? How is life? Things well?
I took a nap. I went back to work this week after 2 weeks off, so it's going to be a little touch and go there for a minute tonight, I think.
Suck on those chili dogs, Gracie. Well done.
Do it. We have a wonderful
subscribe
guest.
to OnlyFans for that.
Yeah, there you go. What if that's the only thing? What if that was the only thing Gracie had on her OnlyFans?
There's probably a thing for that.
There's probably a category for that.
Yeah.
You're right.
I guarantee there's a hashtag you can search. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 100th episode of Holler, and you've made it. You're here with us right now. If you're watching live, you're in for a very special treat. You get to interact with us as well as our most wonderful guest. He's been on the show a couple times, and we've basically turned this into a tradition now. And you were on our first episode, and you are now on our 100th. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the anchor of WSAZ's News Channel 3, the man about Huntington, the Ebenezer Scrooge of the Good Time Christmas Carol. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tim Ear is here with us. Let's go.
Oh, thank you.
It's good to have you, Tim. How you doing?
Great intro. Can I record that? I need to record that, and we put that on before the 10 o'clock news.
Yeah, don't worry. It's on Facebook forever.
It's on Facebook forever. It'll be on YouTube and all the other channels as well.
That's it.
We've got a great high quality audio of it. You're good.
Wait a minute. You mean what we're saying here could be used against me later on?
Don't worry about it. That sounds too legal. We like to talk about way less important things.
I'm an Indian outlaw.
Yeah.
Good question, though, nonetheless. Keep the questions rolling. That's fine.
It is very, very good. Yeah, I do agree. Tim, thank you so much for being here. We're going to have so much fun with you, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got some games
so glad.
to play.
Thank you.
But yeah, thank you, Tim. Really, for real. This is going to be so much fun. We got some games to play with our live audience this is a later show because Tim's got to do the real deal local news. You know, it's the real thing.
Sorry.
We've got a really cool crowd. I see them coming in right now. It's really, really cool. So thank you guys for sticking with us. We're going to have a really good time. But before we go on, hey, there you go. LaCandace already says, hello, sluts.
What's up, LaCandace? What's up?
Thank you. Thank you for that. So before we go anywhere, though, we got to do a toast. I'm bringing in my boy, Johnny Bootlegger. He's a good man.
How is that?
It is bad. It's bad.
Worth every penny. This, however, Tim, I'm flying in some Eagle Rare. This I can attest.
Oh, Eagle Rare from the Buffalo Trace Distillery.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're going to do a quick toast. If everybody's joining, you may. If not, that's fine. It's all good. But here's a quick one for you, ladies and gentlemen, to the year 2023 and all the good stuff and the bad stuff we've gone through, but the good stuff coming up. It's going to be great. Here we go. You ready? Pain makes you stronger. Tears make you braver. Heartbreak makes you wiser. And Jägermeister makes you not remember any of that shit.
Cheers.
Link up at officialholler.com.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
Wow, I've seen it. I've seen it in those big bins at Speedway.
That should be your first sign, as a matter of fact.
To me, it tastes like it's like birthday cake icing, strychnine, and nail polish remover mixed together.
You could from now on just go with straight strychnine. That's what they're
way down yonder on the Chattahoochee.
Guys, this is a great time to shout out our sponsor, the wonderful CAMO Energy. I'm going to show you a few of their little energy shots right here. These things this is a local company, okay? This is right here in Huntington, West Virginia, but they've gone national. They're in multiple states, and they're in multiple places around here that you can grab these. What's great about these? 250 milligrams of caffeine. There's no sugar, no carbs, no calorie. So if you're low carbon, living a healthy lifestyle, you don't want to crush a big sugary can of Monster Energy, those kind of things, go grab CAMO. Plus you're shopping local. They've got all these really cool flavors. Dragon fruit right here in the pink. Rocket Pop is their 4th of July flavor. We'll talk more about them throughout the show. CAMOEnergyshots.com, scrolling on the bottom right now. Go buy some.
That's Adam and Jody.
It's Adam and Jody. You're right.
I love Adam and
Good
Jody.
job, Adam and Jody.
Yes, we're very proud of them. Seriously, they are really every time I go over to their office, Tim, I'm just like so proud of them because they're local and they're friends of mine as well, and they're just doing such a great job. I'm so proud of like local companies like that really taking off.
Yeah. I watched that company. When they started first talking about it, like we were thinking of doing this, and then they did it, and it's great to see that success. It's fun.
Tim, I want to brag real quick. I have to say this. Let me grab this lemon one. The whole reason, this is my one contribution to CAMO, and I brag about this on the label on the very top of the lid. It tells you 250 milligrams caffeine. Maybe the yellow wasn't the smartest one to grab here, but it says like right up front, 250 milligrams of caffeine. This was my addition. There you go. That was my addition to CAMO. That's the one thing I added because I wanted people to know like how much caffeine they're getting.
Absolutely, yeah.
What I noticed was when you're in line at the checkout, you look at 5 Hour Energy, all these other shots. I have no idea what's in them or how much caffeine. So I'm like, can you guys like slam that on the top of the cap because I think that will make people choose it.
Great idea. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Well done, Brian. That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Cheers all around.
For hanging out with us. Tim Ear, just recently, I want to jump right into this if it's cool with you, Tim. You just recently played the star character in a local production put on by Michael Valentine, also a friend of the podcast. Wonderful.
Michael Valentine.
He'll be on later. The Good Time Christmas Carol live show with a load of local celebrities, all local celebrities.
Dave Lavender.
All this stuff.
Dave Lavender was great.
Funny. So this was an amazing thing. Can you tell us more about that show, what it took to put that together, and kind of how it felt like putting all that and making that happen for everybody?
Yeah, how long did you practice your lines? That's what I want to know.
Constantly, because I hadn't done anything like that since that back there. That's what you see back there that's me when I was in college playing Elwood P. Dowd in the show Harvey. So that's me and Harvey, and they had to paint that for the show. I was Elwood Dowd. They painted that for the show, for the play, and then we finished the play, and the guy who did the painting was like, I'll never use this again. What am I going to do with it? He goes, you might as well take it. So I got to keep the painting. I got to meet Jimmy Stewart when we were doing that show. So it was like I got to meet Jimmy Stewart, and while we were doing that show, and he played that role. So I was like, Mr. Stewart, I'm so excited. I wanted to meet you. So he came into the radio station where I was working in Pittsburgh, and he was like, oh, what role are you playing? And I said,
it's a really good
same one as you, Elwood P. Dowd. And he was like, well, congratulations, son. And I was like, Jimmy Stewart's congratulating me. It blew me away. So I hadn't done anything like that since that time back then. And Michael Valentine.
I'm not trying to like say anything.
I'm going on. I'll be 58 years old in a week or so. So
that's a big. Well, happy birthday, happy early birthday. Yeah. That's a big chunk of time right there. And also, that was a wonderful Jimmy Stewart impression.
Yeah. I got to meet the guy. It was just like the coolest thing ever. And I didn't have my script with me that day. I carried that script with me everywhere. I would have imagined a Jimmy Stewart signed Harvey script. Oh, dude, but anyway, I got to play that. But
so you from there all the way to the Good Time Christmas Carol. So essentially was a.
He tricked me into doing this, by the way.
Yeah.
Michael
Well, can we hear about that? How were you?
Get Tim
tricked?
here to do this.
he tricked me into it. He said, "Hey, we're gonna do the Good Time Christmas. You were in it last year. I had this like 2 lines, little tiny part the year
I
before."
remember that one too.
And he was like, he goes, can I run the script past you and see what you think? I was like, yeah, sure. When do you want to come over? And I said, come over after the news tonight. And he was like, yeah, okay, I'll come over after the news tonight. So he runs over to the station right after the 6 o'clock news that night. This was like, I don't know, back in October or something like that, in September. And so I'm reading. He goes, oh, let's just read through the script. He goes, I'll read the different parts. You read these parts. And okay, so we read through. He's like, what do you think? And I'm like, Michael, this is a really good script. It's funny. I think it's really funny in it. And I said, that's terrific. And I said, who are you going to get to play these different parts? Have you thought about that? And he goes, well, I was thinking of you'd play Scrooge. And I was like, what? I'm like, I haven't done anything like that. I can't do that. No, I said, and I said, but even if I wanted to, I can't do it because I work every night. Like I work, I'm on the clock. I can't be like, peace out. I'm going to play practice. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So you
guys somehow figured it out, and you really did. And you put on a wonderful performance.
It was fun.
Raised money for WSAZ children's charities.
Children's charities, yeah. $5 from every ticket sold went to children's charities. So
that was fun to donate to. And by the way, Tim, I have to say, it feels like I'm probably just gassing you up because we've got you on the show, but I'm serious, guys. Like, your performance was fantastic. Just like so much better than what I ever expected. I'm not saying that I expected trash, but like I expected like a good old hometown thrown together. But this was this was quality entertainment. I was so glad that I made it there.
Great job.
I was so glad that I made it there. You did a fantastic job, and I couldn't wait to tell you this story, by the way. I saved it all for the podcast. So you're up there playing Ebenezer, and you're right in the smack in the middle of the role, and you get to a scene where you're like upset and you're crying, and the place is silent. We're all just watching what's going to happen, and this little kid in the audience, I mean, you can't hear because you're too far away. This little kid turns to her mom, and she goes, Mom, is he really crying? I can't wait to tell Tim because he's just going to know that you knocked it out of the park because you had her fooled. She really thought that Ebenezer was crying on stage. So well done.
Yo.
Oh, wow. I tried to get tears because I practiced that a little bit. And I was like, oh, I got to think of something really. So I started thinking about like the Steelers losing and stuff like that. Like I was like, well, it's going to make me cry. I'm like, what's going to. So then I was up on stage and I thought, what's really sad right now? And I thought, oh, what's really sad is my oldest daughter is in DC and she's a day away from coming home for Christmas and she's not watching the show. So I was like, it made me like, I purposely tried to make myself like,
that's interesting.
That's real motivation. You really knocked it out, and you literally
I tried to do it. It was fun.
You created real magic that hit the audience, and actually, and especially for the kids.
Oh my God.
That is
I need
so
you guys
cool.
to like write a review or something like that.
They were all great, and like Dave Lavender came out looking like Jesus, but he had a midsummer like headset. He was hilarious. I mean,
I love that. That was my favorite part, Dave Lavender. My favorite part.
And the audience just lost their minds. Everybody just lost their minds over.
Well, Delegate Sean Hornbuckle came out. Yeah. His makeup job and his costuming was
awesome. Yeah. Yep.
Man. I mean, really, they knocked it all apart.
It was fantastic. So, Tim, I know for a fact because now I've not done any. I'm not quite as famous as you, but you've got a few years on me, so I'm shooting to get there. I'll let you know how it goes once I get there. But I have quite a few low budget films under my belt, and I know what it's like to play a part and remember just really stupid lines. Like still to this day, my girlfriend, she'll make fun of me because I'll just. We'll have drinks and we'll be sitting around and she'll say, hey, say that one line from that like terrible little local film that you did. And so I'll hit her with the line. So I need you right now to just remember at least one of your lines. I need you to get in Ebenezer mode and give us an Ebenezer line. All right. I know you've got it in there because you did it so low. Here we go.
I gotta think with wig head on because
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
you're Ebenezer.
You got to get the scrunchy face, the sort of the mean look on there. And
here we go. He's there.
Because now I just look like somebody from like out in the cornfield who's but that's what it was. Right? It was like I started there's a song by the Beatles called You Know My Name, and at the end of the song I think it's McCartney, and maybe Lennon, but I think it's McCartney just starts doing this like old man.
Yeah.
And I listened to that song and I'm like, oh, that's what I'm going to, because there's a lot of time where Ebenezer's walking around on stage just by himself or like just mumbling. And rather than just not saying anything, I started thinking so a lot of that stuff was just like there was nothing in the script. It was just, and it wasn't even English. It was just like, I think my favorite lines were just, I was just sitting there like talking to Bob Cratchit. I'd be like, and it wasn't even, and it's like a lot of times, like I've done that, and I've started thinking to my daughter, I was like, my wife and kids have had to endure this for years. We've been married. My wife and I have been married for 30 years.
They've already been like, involved in that part.
Well, like people are like, oh, where'd you? Oh, she was like, I've heard that one before, and I've heard that voice, and because I'm always walking around and saying stuff like, like being like, oh, like I'll walk in the house and be like, hey, what you got for dinner here? I'm kind of hungry. I'm on that spindle. If you I want to go down Crom County.
Pipe it down, Ebenezer. Dinner will be ready at 6, Ebenezer.
Yeah.
Young Ebenezer. You just
take what they're doing there and just lower it down and gravel it, make it gravelly, and then get real.
So that's what I did with Ebenezer Scrooge. I started thinking, as we did a few practices in person. Most of the stuff I just recorded a voice memo on my phone and just walking the dogs, doing anything around the house. I just listen. I put in my earbuds and walk around and just listen to. I'd recorded the whole show, and I thought, like, I've got to learn the whole show. And Michael said, yeah, it's a good idea. You probably would want to learn the whole show. So I learned the whole show. Just by heart and over and over and over and over again over the course of a couple months, and just tried to memorize every line. And then I forget what practice it was. We were doing the lines, and I thought, you know what, it'd be fun to try to be like really mean and snarly and just like so nasty and so mean that the one line was,
well, and then when everything flips, then it makes the character.
Then it's like, oh, he's this nice guy after all. It's like everybody has this chance for redemption. And it's like the solicitors were asking him for money in the office in the first scene. And I thought there was a line where he's like, here. And it was like the way the script is. And I've looked at a couple movies, the way the script is, Scrooge is like, take this and give this to the poor. And he takes like the wreath off the wall, give this to the poor. And he's like, he's a jerk to do it. But I thought, I'm going to really have fun with it. And I'm going to like get like right up in their faces and be like right up in their grill, like in their face, and snarl and just like, and turn my head and like have this eye like crazy, like, and look and be like, look at them. And the first time we did it, the solicitors, the guys who played the solicitor, the actors, they were both like, I could see their face. They were like backing up, like,
they were taking it back.
I'd never done it before. And we tried it, and I just got like right in their face, and I was like, here. And I'm breathing on them, and I'm spitting on them, and it was just like, I was like, and the guy was like, oh, I'm kind of a big wrestling fan. One of the solicitors was like, I'm a big wrestling fan. I think this is really cool. I'm into it because, and I said, because you may get spit upon or spat upon or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that's okay. So we made it just mean and nasty and raw, and it was just fun to do. It was like because you don't get to do that, and nobody gets to do that in daily life. And I hadn't done that in, I don't know, when's the last? It was 40 years ago or 30 years ago or something like that.
And by the way, Tim's wearing like a nightgown the whole time, and like, he's like in pajamas doing this on stage, which, by the way, like, it's one thing to be on stage, but dude, you're on stage in basically a nightgown and a toboggan.
Yeah, Dave Lavender's nightgown. He let me borrow it. He had to wear
his muumuu,
and he was like, hey, I've got this nightgown and a cap that I had to wear for twas the night before Christmas. And so I was like, yeah, that'd be great. And so Dave let me borrow that. But Dave Lavender, you guys talked about it. That scene when they rolled him out there and he was the ghost of Christmas present, it was awesome. It was awesome. And then he just sang fa la 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 la.
Yeah, it's like this culmination of what we're all seeing right now. This is actually happening. This is real. This is in front of our face. All these people are involved in this, and it was also funny. Like, going through the cast and being like, oh, they've done our show before. They've done Holler before. They've done Holler before. Oh,
have you had Laid Back on before?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we've had Laid Back. Like Laid Back was on, Dave Lavender, and Michael Valentine. I know he's been on, and he's going to be on again. But for him to be able to pull this off, it's just like, I don't know how he does it. Like he could, and it just all gets hobbled together in the last second, and then boom, there's this show. But he pulls all these different pieces together. Then he gets the community together, and he makes a fundraiser out of it. But it's just like what he does, and it takes a really special talent to pull that off.
And the crowd was great. So you guys had to raise like quite a bit of money. I was so happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
By the way, let's shout out some Holler Nation people out here. We've got LaCandace. She says, "Can Tim finally have someone unblock me from the WSAZ page?"
Yeah, I don't have that power.
All I did was say I didn't like the forecast.
I've told you that before, LaCandace. I've said that. I'm like, I'm partial to her because she's like, I have a redheaded daughter, and she's redheaded. So
she has
I'm like, powerful redheaded women I want, but I don't have the power to make anything like that.
Sorry, LaCandace, but thanks for the comment. Just make a new Facebook,
Follow me.
Yeah. Andrew says, "Yo, it's your boy Curtis." Shout out to the Shotgun Squad that's joining in, by the way. We'll talk more about them.
Looks like a Minnesota Viking.
He says he looks like a Minnesota Vikings fan. And you know what? I felt like I was going to get that. I really did.
You're going to get that more, too, I think.
Yeah, now that we're in like playoff mode. But hey, here's the truth. Sorry to hurt your feelings here, Tim, but go Chiefs. That's what I want to say. Go Kansas City Chiefs.
That's all right. Just going to say go Ravens.
No. I'm out of your division. You don't have to worry about me. I'm just in the AFC, but I'm out of your division, so we're all good. But yeah, shout out to the Shotgun Squad. Guys, go check out their website. We will shout it out a little bit later. Shotgunsquad.com.
Right there.
Easy to remember.
They got some really awesome merch, and we'll put them on the screen. It's easy. It's shotgunsquad.com all day long.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
They've got some really fun merch, some really great stuff, all custom, really cool designs, all designed to make you look as cool as shit.
Shirts, barware, fun stuff. Go check out.
Cool.
Buy something. Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. Friends of the show, and they're based out of Texas, by the way. So we've had Texas on the show quite a few times, and once you get passed around Texas, Tim, you start meeting the right people. This is how we bumped into Shotgun Squad, and next thing you know, we've got a couple of their members on the show, and now we're shouting out their whole program here because they've got such fun merch. And what's something that's really cool about them? It's exactly what you think it is, by the way. Like Shotgun Squad, like shotgunning a beer. It's a fun group on Facebook, but their whole thing is you don't have to shotgun alcohol if you're not feeling that, or if you're someone that doesn't drink, shotgun a Red Bull or something and just post your video to their Facebook group. And they're even though they're a large group of like 10,000, they're like a tight-knit family, and they've got that merch website. So we really like the Shotgun Squad a lot.
Oh, that's really cool. That's good. Yeah. It's a personal story then. That's really cool.
They're good people.
Yeah. Very positive people, always pushing, being good and feeling good and doing all that good stuff. And also, and Tim and you doing the Christmas Carol and raising the money for the kids. This has been a wild season. So I'm transitioning now to this whole situation that I'd like, because Brian and I have some like sort of personal news we've been dealing with over the past little bit. And I want to.
You guys are having a baby?
We're having a baby together.
Congratulations!
Girl, they're going to name her Gracie. I'm so excited.
I'm definitely going to, especially if it's a boy.
For you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for guessing that, by the way. That was correct.
So recently, obviously, there was this crazy deep freeze that happened really pretty much right on the weekend before Christmas, or the weekend of Christmas, this crazy deep freeze. So I'm sleeping, having a good time sleeping because it's fun to sleep. And a big thing happens. Basically, here, I'll just give you some, you can see it here. I had to pull up to the place with my ceiling missing, because right now I'm working on some busted pipe issues. And so this happens at
That's terrible.
It's no biggie. It's all fixed now. We're good. But this happens Christmas Eve, 5 a.m. I'm texting the group the day of, and Brian and Gracie both like, oh man, that's crazy. If you need anything, let me know. And I'm like, thanks guys, we're working on it. Brian, literally, I want to say 12 hours later.
Not even 12 hours later.
I heard about his. Yeah.
So I wake up on Christmas Eve, and I've got family events to go to, right? And so I'm like, I automatically wake up, I know JD has a busted water pipe. People around me, their water pipes are busting. I know it's frozen outside. And I'm like, man, I'm a little bit concerned about my house. I'm going to wake up early, go to Lowe's. I'm going to get myself one of those torpedo heaters. I'm going to go outside to my crawl space, aim it at my crawl space, and kind of heat some pipes up just so nothing bad happens. So I go to Lowe's, buy the torpedo heater. I have it in my car, but I have to go to my family event first. And I'm thinking I'll only be gone a few hours. I'll make it back. So I go to this family event. Come back to my house 4 hours later. I actually watched the Chiefs play football, as a matter of fact. So I watched the Chiefs game. I get back to my house. I hit my garage button. The door comes up, and out of my ceiling is a waterfall. Fa la 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 la, right out of my ceiling. And I'm like, holy shit, what the hell's going on? And so, like, I'm in crazy mode because I'm like, oh my God, I've got to get the water off. What's happening up here? This is crazy. And so, yeah, I had my girlfriend with me. My dad had just pulled up because he was running something to my house, luckily. So there's 3 people on it right away. It had been pouring for about 4 hours out of my ceiling. And so I've got all this damage in the attic, damaged wall, of course, all that's got to get ripped out. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason we're not doing this live at my house. Otherwise, we will be doing it live right here. So Ice Apocalypse 2.0. Hey, it got us, man. This is why you have homeowners insurance, and we're not going to sweat it, are we, JD? We're cool.
We're not. We're going to be fine. But Tim, I just want to know: did anything happen in your neck of the woods, or anything happen to y'all's place? Were you good? Did you drip your pot? Like, did you drip your faucet?
I did the drip. And it still froze.
And it still froze. So, but you didn't have a burst.
I opened up it was the cold water side that even though I had both, I turned them on both dripping in the bathroom, which is on the outside wall. So it's the only one that's really close to where all the icy cold is. So I've had experience on it kind of freezing up before and having to defrost the pipes with a hair dryer. Okay. And so I was heading upstairs I don't really need a hair dryer. So I was heading upstairs to my wife's bathroom to get the hair dryer. And I came downstairs and I left it open thinking like, oh, maybe some air. And I came down and it was running. I was like, oh, thank God. So that's as close as we came. We were lucky. We made sure. Plus we stayed awake all hours of the day. It was a Christmas party all the time.
I see. So that's another thing
there was
too.
Always somebody awake
on Christmas Eve. Yeah,
we had a house full of people, dogs and people. Our kids were in.
Yeah, everybody got 1 hour of sleep. I get you. Yeah. Gracie, you did okay, right? Like you came out the other side.
Yeah, we dripped in the kitchen and in the bathroom.
Yeah,
but we have heat tape, like where our pipes are.
Great idea.
It used to be a garage, so I guess the homeowners before us put heat tape. So plug that baby in and we were fine. We still dripped because I was like,
yeah,
not taking
that's another thing I was wanting to bring up with Tim is no matter what you did to try to circumvent like any issues, people still had them and they were all across the city. I guarantee, you working for WSAZ, being in the newsroom, did you guys get constant like notifications basically, or at least being told like, oh, this place got messed up, this place got messed up?
I guess. I don't know. I wasn't there.
He wasn't there. That's true. It was. Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. It was your holiday.
I wasn't there.
I wasn't even there.
I'll go ahead and tell you now. It was almost like every other person. Like we get texts from different people, and every other person had a burst pipe or a frozen pipe, and I heard from different businesses downtown. All these different things. So it was wild, but it definitely affected us. Those are my pipes right there, man.
They're just fixed. Terrible.
They're fixed. We just got to get that ceiling worked on.
Oh, you poor thing. It's just I did notice that even though I was off, on my phone I get alerts, the IPNs we get from 911, and so I was seeing all the alerts go out about all the pipes. So it was just like you said, it was just one after another. There were alerts all over the place. Because it becomes an emergency situation when there's like a pipe burst on a public building, and especially an outside pipe, and then it's all over the sidewalk and it's zero outside. And then you've got instant freezing.
And it freezes over and it freezes over and it's definitely dangerous. So it's good that people
so it becomes a problem.
Call that in. And also it's funny that you brought that up because I also want to remind everybody you should definitely follow Tim here on Twitter because he does something called the scanner call of the night once in a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that's always a blast to hear from. So,
Yeah, it was just that my favorite one of all time is, let me see, how did it go? It said, caller states, she's naked, she's throwing furniture, and her strength is unbelievable. I thought, what a combination. She's naked, she's throwing furniture, and her strength is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. You couldn't write the script any better. Hey,
Yeah.
a quick 60-second story now that we're talking about the freeze, and then I'm done with the freeze.
and then we're going to scoot. We got plenty of other things
I
too.
don't think
so
JD's even heard this story yet. So
I
get
don't
this.
think I have, but I'm ready.
Everything freezes at my house. My pipes burst. I have no running water for 1 week starting Christmas Eve. So all through Christmas Eve, I had no running water. Everything was shut off. I lived out of jugs of water. I still remained at my house, and I would take jugs of water to friends' houses, my girlfriend's house, my parents' house. I'd fill up my jugs of water, and as my theory is, as long as my dog and I are okay, then everything's okay, and we're fine. So then we're good. So anyway, Christmas Day comes, okay? And I'm so excited to get down to my parents' house, not only to eat all the good food, but they've got heat and running water. Everything's good at their house. And I'm
Hot
like, man,
showers.
I'm going to take a hot shower. First thing when I get there, I'm taking a hot shower. Merry Christmas to me. And that's exactly what I did. I got there, took a shower, got my Christmas gear. We started fixing all the food. Right as we finished fixing the food and as the first guest arrived, because my mom hosts Christmas every year, no joke, this is like a movie script. You hear this sound outside. It's like, boom, and a transformer blows and all the power goes out in the house in the west end of Huntington. And we're like, this can't be real. The lights start flickering. Then eventually the lights come back on and we're like, okay, haha, Christmas joke. Like, you know, and then we're sitting there for about 60 seconds. Boom, boom, and another transformer goes out. And so the whole Christmas, we were in the dark, but the food was already cooked. We had flashlights and candles everywhere, and it actually made it quite funny. All of our pictures are all of us opening gifts in the dark over flashlights.
I'm telling you, it's so funny. It's hilarious. So everybody, like, people think about Christmas. They think about, like, there's so much, you know, we're trying to be in this great spirit, but a lot of crazy things can happen, especially when you're around family. I will tell you this, through the adversity and through the crazy stuff, and I was talking to my mother about this the other day, I had one of the best Christmases I've ever had. My family came together. It was the best food we've ever cooked all together. We helped each other do it. It was literally one of the best Christmases I've ever had.
That's awesome.
Even though all that stuff happened. So I just want to let everybody know that's how you deal with it. Stuff is wild, but we get through it, especially when we do it together, and that's how we do it.
God bless us all, everyone.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Anna, she says, hell, I live in Minnesota, so yeah, I feel y'all. Thank you.
Anna's just like, that's just every day.
Curtis, he got to negative 35 in Minnesota Christmas Eve, so we got even another Minnesotan in the place.
Negative 35. I don't know. I know this guy in Winnipeg on Instagram, and we talk a lot, and he's just like, oh yeah, it's just like every day in Winnipeg in the wintertime, it's 20 below average, 20 below average every day. And they have an underground series of tunnels in the downtown area to go from store to store, office building to office building. So that's nice. Wow. But you can't spend your entire time, you know, traveling. Like, eventually you're going to have to go to Walmart or wherever, you know. It's
virtual insanity.
It's virtual insanity. That is very
virtual insanity.
All right.
No sound. We all live underground.
Thank you for that. And Tim, thank you for telling us about Christmas Carol. And thank you for talking to us about the crazy polar vortex. We're going to move on, and this is how we're going to do it. We got a couple things we're going to do. Every time we get Tim on the show, we have some interesting news pops up. We like to call it like, it's some, but fake news. It's called Some Fake News. And so Tim has got a couple news stories he'd like to tell us. These are exclusive to Holler, by the way. Nobody else knows about these yet. These are brand new things. So what we're going to do a little clip, a little music. We're going to have Tim come in and give us the new exclusive story that it's all hitting us all right now. And then we're going to move on to some poll questions with the Holler Nation, if that's cool. Is that cool with everybody here chilling out with us?
Tell us when the newscast starts, and we're ready to hit the button. Here we go.
Tim, are you ready to go, buddy?
I'm ready.
Yeah, this guy's a professional. You'll see. Here we go.
Give it to us.
In a stunning move by the United States House of Representatives, Kentucky music star Tyler Childers has been selected as the Speaker of the House after the 1,345th voting tally. Asked what he would do as the new speaker, Tyler was heard to have said, "Fix all this dang stuff, man."
This makes sense, actually.
Get the sound again.
Yeah, makes sense.
And that's the Some Fake News. Thank you, everybody, very much. Welcome to Holler, officialholler.com, CAMO Energy Shots.
I've got before we actually scoot on to the poll questions here, and we'll pepper some more fake news in there, Tim. So stay tuned with that, everybody. But I've got a really important question for Tim. I've been dying to ask him this. Tim, this is a real story. I was listening to a podcast about this really crazy dude in Alaska where he owns like 1,000 acres of land, and the permafrost is melting up there, and some really crazy shit is starting to like come out of the permafrost. This guy thought he was up there to mine gold, and turns out he's in the dinosaur bone business, because as the permafrost is melting, he has 1,000 acres of just dinosaur bones everywhere. He's now building warehouses, buying semi trucks. He doesn't have enough room. He doesn't even have enough room on his land to fill up with all these bones that are coming out. Some of the stuff that's coming out of the permafrost is perfectly frozen. For example, a perfectly frozen woolly mammoth, multiple of them have appeared. He's got all these things they didn't even think lived up there during the Ice Age. Dire wolves, the American lion, short-faced bear, all of these things, all these crazy things this guy's finding. Anyway, this guy's nuts, by the way, okay? He's totally crazy. He doesn't care about monetizing any of this, and he's actually just preserving all these bones. He's all about the history. He loves history. He loves America. He made that very clear in the podcast episode. But he doesn't care about monetizing it, and he's just kind of stockpiling right now, and he says he thinks it's going to take him his entire lifetime to continue digging and then just pass the legacy down to his family. Anyway, one of the things that these crazy dudes in Alaska pulled out was a perfectly preserved woolly mammoth, and they gave one, I think they gave one to the University of Alaska, and they have the thing on display, but they pulled out a second one, and his neighbor, I guess, how it goes, swears that they decided this thing's perfectly preserved. It's been frozen the whole time, roughly 20,000 years, how long this woolly mammoth's been frozen.
Oh my
the neighbor says, let's get some Jack Daniels, let's sit around a campfire, cut a piece of that thing off, let's fry it up, let's just see how it tastes. And this guy swears they all pass around bits of woolly mammoth and try to bite. So I just need to know, if you were in this exact situation, if you were this guy's neighbor, would you taste woolly mammoth, or would you pass on 20,000-year-old frozen woolly mammoth meat?
What would I? I'd definitely try it.
Yeah, you got to eat it, right? You got to eat that.
Often, you got to do it.
Like, who else ever could say that? Like, oh yeah, what did you guys have last night? I went to Sonic and I got some of those tater tots at Sonic. Oh yeah, I had some woolly mammoth. Like,
what?
What are you smoking? You know, like.
Yeah, we had a roast out back, woolly mammoth. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I had some woolly mammoth and some stir fry. You know, like.
Drew,
this guy's pulling out woolly mammoth tusks that are perfectly preserved, and each one of them are like 30 feet long and curved, and he has like 1,000 of them, and just like a pair of woolly mammoth tusks is worth like $400,000 or $500,000, and this guy's got like 1,000 of them. He doesn't even care. He doesn't want to sell them or anything.
Whatever,
and then he's got this little side business that his family runs, where they pick up the little pieces of bits of woolly mammoth tusks material, ones that are broken and they can't do anything with. And his daughter makes jewelry out of them. So you can find her Instagram and buy woolly mammoth tusk jewelry.
So she's making money. He doesn't care about the monetary aspect.
She's like, saving the bones.
The old man doesn't care, but wait till I put this on Instagram.
Eating the ribs and just tossing them out in the trailer.
I know she's making a kill. Tim, what do you think woolly mammoth tastes like?
I think it probably tastes like chicken.
That's the answer to everything, right?
That's the way I was answering.
Tastes like chicken. Hey, actual breaking news: Kevin McCarthy narrowly elected to Speaker of the House on the 15th vote.
Oh, there you go. So
actual breaking news.
This is actual news.
Actual breaking news. It's not Holler breaking news. It's not Holler breaking news. Yeah, he actually did it.
We just said that Tower Childer was, but that was after the 1300th, whatever.
Yeah, this is real. I'm not gonna.
This one's real, and it's kind of disappointing, but that's okay. Whatever, it's fine. I tell you what, let's scoot on and let's ask some poll questions.
Would you eat if somebody put bits of Kevin McCarthy over a spit,
Yeah.
just like a part of his thigh, would you eat that?
Yeah.
You'd
That's
try that?
cannibalism and illegal. So that's
And that would
enough for me,
definitely not
boss.
taste like
Right.
chicken. I'm pretty sure
is.
that would. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't taste like chicken. I feel like it would probably taste like.
That's
I'm
not a
glad that
brain
Gracie
link
is here.
thing.
Gracie is our moral barometer. So thank
Yes.
you, Gracie.
This is exactly why she's here. As a matter of fact, thank you for
Illegal.
picking up on that. You got to
Yes,
have that, or else
yeah.
we just goes haywire. It all goes
Yeah.
haywire.
Jeez.
All right, guys, here we go.
Send your dick pics to Gracie at officialholler.com.
You heard it
Let's-
here first.
You know,
Had to go there.
Let's
Brian
do
and Vinny
some-
also will get them. So
Let's do some poll
send them.
questions. We're going to go real quick with these because we still got plenty of great stuff to do, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll go first this time. And when I asked Holler Nation, I asked everybody, all right, you just won $1 billion, but what is something you're still never going to buy? Money's no object. You got all the money you really need, but something you're really never going to actually buy. And I got some really, really fun responses here. So Lee Pennington, who is also a friend of the show, she's great. She said she's never going to buy a timeshare. And I can agree with her on that.
I agree with her.
I'm going to blast through these real quick, and then we'll go around and say what we have to say, by the way. Our buddy Gary, he says, I'm never going to buy a Keurig. You know, those little pod coffee machines.
Oh, see, I love those things.
Yeah, disagree, Gary.
Yeah, I love that.
So Liz says she's never going to buy a bidet.
I can understand.
Well, sometimes we're trained to do certain things. Shannon, she's come in and she says, this is a wonderful answer, by the way. She's never going to buy U2's album "Songs of Innocence." You might remember. When everybody got that for free on their iPhone? Just
we didn't have to buy it; it was just there.
Yeah. So that's
You didn't
great
have
that
to
she
buy
said
it.
she'll never buy it.
And guess what? Even though you didn't have to buy it, you probably never need to. So,
Yeah.
all right,
They lost it.
Yeah, they did kind of lose their groove there on that one. Here we go. LaCandace, what's up, girl? She says, expensive clothes. Give me Walmart, Doll Skill, Shane. However, I would buy a luxury purse. So that's her deal there.
Wow, a luxury purse.
So Mo, she says Crocs. And this is technically the number one answer here. Crocs. She would never buy Crocs.
Tim, do you own Crocs?
Tim,
No,
you
I
have
heard
a pair?
I heard they're really comfortable though. I've been meaning to get a pair just because everybody's like, and because they took a dive and now they're coming back, and everybody
They're
who wears
orthopedic.
them.
They massage your foot as you walk, and that's just how it goes.
Okay,
we have
I'm
some-
gonna have to get some Crocs. I have these great.
Show us your shoes.
Here come the shoes.
Yeah, I have these great. These are like I wear them like slippers. They're called Sanooks, and I
Yeah.
love them. And they look beat up all the time. Like this is the way
Yeah.
they come. They look
They
like
you buy them that way, beat up.
Yeah,
so
you
that
buy
when
them
you
this
pick them
way.
up,
So I have
it's
a gray pair.
they already smell
daughter bought
horrible
me.
when you buy them. So
Yeah, right. So you don't have to worry about it. So
They are light as a
yeah,
feather
I
and
love
very
these.
comfortable.
all
I
right,
love
just a
these.
couple more here, guys, and then we'll go around the table.
Hey, Christian, what's
Alan,
up?
What's up, Jake? How you doing, dog? Another friend of the show. He's been on before, and he's going to come back again. Oh, and then Miranda, she says she loves the Canucks. That's awesome. Speaking of Miranda, she says, listen, I know me, and I know how much I like spending money, but nothing is off the table for me and my $1 billion. So. She had a response, by the way, by Aranda. She said, I second this. I'll be big balling for no reason. That's wonderful. Alan Brown, a.k.a. Corduroy Brown, another friend of the show. What a wonderful dude. Fantastic guy. He says, Applebee's.
He's not going to do Applebee's. I
Applebee's.
do know that there's one thing that Alan Brown will spend his money on. I can say this personally because I found this out tonight.
Ooh.
You've piqued my curiosity.
Alan Brown will spend his money on buying his mom and her friend tickets to the Tough Man contest for Christmas.
You've heard it here first.
Huh? I saw her tonight.
More
I saw
exclusive
Kawana
news
at-
from WSAZ's Tim here on the show.
She was
You know
at
what?
the Tough Man.
Kawana
She was like,
deserves
"Hey, Tim," and I'm like, what are you doing here? And she was like, Alan bought me these for Christmas. And she was like, I love it. I come every year. And Alan knew that. And it was like a gift from the heart from Alan. So he's a good son.
Kawana is the nicest mom in the entire world. She invited, when I was watching your play, Tim, she invited me to her Christmas dinner. She told me her whole spread. She wanted me there at 11 a.m. to start eating appetizers.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like the nicest person ever.
She really is.
Blasting through these here. Ethan says anything Gucci. I will never buy anything Gucci. Okay. Jacob, he says Cane's Chicken. Does anybody know Cane's Chicken?
Like Raising Cane's?
It's like Raising Cane's is a chicken tender place in Kentucky, mostly in Kentucky, the southern area. Apparently, Jacob, this is, by the way, Jacob McComas of Jewel City Barbershop. Big Liquid. The show. We're going to do some big things with him here in 2023, by the way. Everybody say
good.
He also, he's got a big thing against Cane's Chicken. If you follow him on social media, it's hilarious.
Man, why have I never even heard of this chicken? I don't understand.
It's just it's like have you ever heard of Zaxby's?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the same idea, but they're really very like localized. It's very much in like Louisville and Lexington. It's very much a Kentucky thing, and they also branch a little from there. But it's that's why you probably haven't really heard much about it.
Okay, all right.
Just a couple more, everybody here. Rachel, you got the Rachel button, Brian? Just want to see if you got a Rachel button.
Give me 2 seconds. Let's see if I can find it. Can't find it.
Can't find it. No problem. It's okay.
The whole button
that says Rachel a lot. She says, I would never buy a dick-shaped rocket to launch me into space. Rachel!
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot. There was a billionaire who did that.
Mm-hmm.
You technically could drop your whole billion and just say, hey, I floated above Earth for a second there. Like,
there you go. Kayla says anything expensive because I'm cheap at heart. Here, Andrew, who jumped into the show. What's up, Andrew? Andrew says heroin. We'll never buy heroin because I've been clean for 6+ years.
Good for you, dude.
That's what's up,
Andrew.
Yeah.
Yes, she says a Chevrolet vehicle. Alexia,
what she has against the whole company?
I don't know what it is. Alexia says Taylor Swift tickets.
Gotta be a Taylor hater.
That's what I got right here. Brandon Woolham from Nashville, your boy. He's also
Brandon.
the voice of Holler. He's the guy who does all the things about the dick pics.
I knew I loved that voice for a reason.
Yeah. He says we have Raising Cane's down here too, so that's awesome.
Woolham can move away, but the voice will never move away. Whether it's a random commercial while you're shopping inside of Old Navy or Holler, the podcast that shouts you out, there will be a Woolham.
That is
Tim,
so true.
It is
Tim.
true.
Wait a sec. Jake Christoph, he said, I can't buy off-brand cereal. I will penny pinch anything but that. Everything but that. That's what's up. I get that.
I love some off-brand cereal. I have personal favorite.
I will mess with it all day. I don't. But Tim, we need to know. Money's no object. You got $1 billion all of a sudden. Bam, bam in your account. But what's something you're never gonna buy, man?
Probably like a really, really, really nice car. Like, you know how people they have like cars that are as expensive as people's houses. I just think it's kind of wrong. I don't mean to be like up on the moral high ground or whatever. But it just doesn't it's just me personally. It's like I'm not going to judge my neighbor for they want to buy that car and anybody in my family or whatever. That's fine.
It's also just a car, right? It's a box that you set in and fart.
I hate thinking that I'm going to spend all that money for that. You know,
for the fart box on wheels.
Right? Why would you do? But now I did have a really my favorite car that I ever had was I had like this 88 Grand Wagoneer, Jeep Grand Wagoneer that had like the wood paneling on the sides, like the old Grand Wagoneer. I love that guy. I bought it used for a few $1,000, and
so you got $1 billion. You would buy that, and you would get it restored and all put together.
Oh, if I had the money, I'd do that.
You missed that one, huh? Yeah.
But I don't feel. I think there's only a certain amount of money that I'd be willing to spend on that. And I'm really cheap about stuff like that. My wife makes fun of me all the time. She's like, "You're a cheapskate," and no, we have to get this. We have to get this kind of whatever this light fixture for the bathroom. I'm like, why? Like, doesn't that one work? She was like, no.
Put a lamp in there.
That one was in the bathroom at Big Lots, and it was thrown into the dumpster, and you want to put it up in our, and I'm like, well, it works, right? And she was like, I'm cheap like that. So I don't want to get judgy on people who want to buy really nice things.
I get you. Word. No.
Hey, speaking of Tim Muir's wife, by the way, I've never met your wife. She sounds lovely. You're amazing, so she's probably amazing. I've never met her. However, my favorite Tim Muir wife story is the time Tim Muir had COVID was actually when we had him scheduled to be on Holler Podcast, and Tim just said, fuck it, let's just do the show anyway, even though I have COVID. I'm down in my basement. My wife actually won't let me back up into the house, but she does drop off my dinners at the door. So Tim's going to the door and receiving his meals and water, but he's trapped in the basement and also doing Holler Podcast. You got to love that story.
It was great. She I called her the warden. I was like, oh, the warden's here to deliver my food.
Yes.
She'd like knock on the door. It was actually right here. It was in this garage. So I was outside. The garage is separated from the house. So I'm outside in the man cave, and it's like heated, and like I've got a TV and a refrigerator and everything. So I've got everything I need out here.
Good living. It's good living.
Yeah. So but she'd come and knock on the door and then leave the tray of food at the door. And then she'd scurry back inside.
You lost tonight. Bye.
And this was like OG COVID.
It's OG COVID.
Yeah, this was like back when, so I was like, but I felt fine. And when I was on the Holler Podcast, I was like, I feel fine. I hadn't lost the sense of taste or smell. Nothing had happened yet. So I was like, oh, this COVID thing, whatever. Like, and then all of a sudden I was like, my daughter gave me for my birthday. It was right around this time, 2 years ago, right around this time, because my birthday's in a couple weeks. So my daughter gave, so I'm due to get COVID again, because I got it last January again too. So it's like I got it twice.
Oh wow!
In January,
so
here we go.
Up on anniversary.
And it's January, so here we go. So she got me this food for my birthday, and I couldn't taste it. I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, I can't taste this. And it was Bonhoff, and it was like pickled like eggs and stuff, like real pickled, heavy German. And I was like, I can't taste the pickled stuff from Bonhoff. I'm like, oh no, this is COVID. So I knew then that it was hitting me. And then I had like fever. And it just like, wasn't like the flu where I was sneezing and coughing all them. I just felt like high and just weird.
Just out.
Wonky. Yeah. It's too bad your Ebenezer character didn't exist at that moment, because like I can just picture you going to the stairs like give me get the food. They slide the food down to the door, close it.
I just thought about it and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. When I was doing that character, I realized that I needed to have chloroseptic backstage at all times, like in my throat, because
that numbs your throat. By the way, for people who never use that, it numbs your throat.
And that whole like it would hurt my,
Lindsay, by the way, says you got a great garage. By the way, she's been there before, so she
thanks,
knows.
Lindsay. Yeah.
Jamie, she says it's so hard to come up with something that I wouldn't buy. It would probably just be anything that supported a person or company that I don't agree with. Example, companies that are linked with like child sex rings. Of course.
That's a good idea. There's a good place to start right there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, man, no matter how much money you got, that's horrible. Yeah, of course, don't do that. Makes sense.
I would buy a woolly mammoth and I would eat a piece of it. And then
that's exactly what. Gracie, is there anything you wouldn't buy no matter how much money you had if you had $1 billion?
I mean, you are seriously underestimating my money spending habits. I would probably just buy the things like Miranda and Aranda said, like, you are seriously underestimating my ability to spend money. So I don't think there's really anything that I still are like, I just wouldn't buy.
You guys are in you're in the boat where it's like, I don't really know anything about it, but I'll buy it to try it. Because
buy it to try it.
The old 5-day trial yacht. Yeah.
Oh, Lindsay, by the way, she says off-brand toilet paper. You can't buy off-brand TP. Triple ply, quilted northern, or fiery death, especially after Taco Bell.
Triple ply, not double ply is not good enough. You got to have triple ply.
No, you got to it's got to feel like you're rubbing a pillow on it.
Right.
Brian, you got something quick, dude?
I will not buy an NFT. Mainly because I don't even know what the fuck one is. I have no idea what that even is.
Yo, and my answer is I will never buy a Bitcoin, man. I'm not going to buy one of them fucking things. It's not going to happen.
I'm not going to lie. I bought some.
Well, how do you feel? How's it feel?
I bought some. Well, I don't know because I don't know how to check it. What happened was, like, you know how
just give them to me though, and I'll check it for you.
Okay, this is how I bought Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin. I don't know what it is or anything like that. But because I'm an old man, don't
the Bitcoin. I bought it anyway because I'm an old man.
I'm an old man. I just want cash.
So I had
a bunch of cash in my truck,
and so I've got this like old F-150 that's for farm use only. But in the glove thing, I noticed there was a in the center console thing, there was a big thing that was filled up with change. I'm like, oh my God, I've got to have several dollars at least in this thing. Filled up, mostly pennies, but a bunch of dimes and a few quarters in it. So at Kroger, they have that machine where you can just dump it in and it just counts it out. And then so I was like, there we go. Dumped it in there, sat there and keeps adding it. And it got up to it was like $5.40. And I was like, man, I got $5.40. That's pretty cool. And then it says, do you want this? Do you want to take, in cash, or would you like to like it in Bitcoin? And I went, Bitcoin it is, because it's like
you jumped.
I've never been nobody's ever asked that question of me before. And when it was money out of the console in the truck, I'm like,
wow,
yes. I'm like, if whatever that Bitcoin is worth at some point will probably be worth more than the F-150 itself.
Maybe
because it's such farm use only.
It also depends on like what time you did that, like the specific time you did it.
It was like 2:00 in the afternoon.
Well, not that time, but I mean in the past. Okay,
then you're good.
Actually, no, that actually probably does deal with it too. But no,
sorry, it's really bad. That's a bad joke.
It could be a difference between 1/100,000th of one Bitcoin or 150,000th of 100th of a Bitcoin. So who knows?
Well, there's a way to check it. I think there's like some website that I need to log into to find out. And I'm like, I'll get around to that.
It's not. Here's the thing. It's definitely not FTX. Just want to let you know. We're past that one. All right, my poll's done.
Weird impulse buy.
That's a really good impulse buy. Yeah, my poll's done. Let's scoot on to the next thing. Brian, what do you say? Do you want to do another poll? You want to play a game with the people that are live?
Oh, I've got us. How would you guys like to play a game? We're so happy to have you here. Let's do this. It's Family Feud time. Let's win some Camo Energy.
Cheers. More of this bootlegger stuff.
All right, guys.
Okay.
It's not.
Tim, here's the rules. You're not allowed to play Family Feud. Okay, you can comment, but you just can't play the game.
You can't play the game, Tim, but I'll tell you what's going on.
I can't play the game?
You cannot play the game. You
can't play it, but here's what's going to happen.
But if you like caffeine and want camo, I'll get you some.
Yeah, there we go. That's what this is all about.
The warden just left me some food. I'm going to go pick it up.
Tim here's gone.
You do it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to play a game called Family Feud. Everybody knows how that goes. Brian's basically going to ask a question. They surveyed 100 people or whatever, and you're going to find the most popular answer. If you post the most popular answer for the question Brian asks, you're going to get some camo, baby. This is that CAMOEnergyShots.com, 250 milligrams of caffeine in each shot. We're giving away variety packs, right, Brian?
Yeah, you get a couple different flavors for free. All you got to do, make sure you DM us your mailing address if you do end up being the winner. That way we know where to send this. We send it to you free of charge. We want you to try these flavors. We'll send you a couple.
It's fantastic. Brian's going to ask the question. We're going to let the Holler Nation in the audience work it out. We're going to pop them up on the screen. Gracie is tallying all the answers and all that good stuff. And in between each of those questions, I've actually also surveyed a bunch of people out in the city of Huntington that have some fun questions for Tim here while he's on the show. So every time Brian asks a question and we tally up the answer for Holler Nation to give them some free Camo Energy Shots. Tim, I've got some fun little tiny questions for you.
That's fair.
That's how we're going to do it.
All right, Holler Nation, it's Family Feud time. You know the drill. I'm going to ask the question. We're looking for the number one answer. First person to type the number one answer gets the point. Gracie is the judge. First one to 3 points takes the free Camo Energy Variety Pack prize. Remember, your screen is different than Gracie's screen, so don't yell at Gracie. your screen always will show your answer faster because it's your internet. Duh, that's how internet works. Even Tim Ear knows that. Come on.
Yell at Brian though. I don't care.
All right, guys, here we go. First question. It's real simple. Name a dog breed. Name a dog breed. We're looking for the number one answer. First one to get it takes the point.
Up. So while we're getting that all tied up here we go. Tim, I need to know something here. This is from Amy. She asks, Tim, what is your favorite My Little Pony?
Oh, the one with the long pink hair.
The one with the long pink hair.
Yeah, the pink hair.
You remember her name or its name? Their name? I
can't remember its name, but the pink hair was.
Can you make a name up for this character?
It had stars in it. I think her name was Linda Schwartzman.
Linda Schwartzman.
Yeah, yes. Linda Schwartzman was the name of that little
My
pony.
Little Pony.
The number one answer is in the chat, by the way. Number one answer. We've got a bit of a typo, but we're going to count it anyway. The number one answer is German Shepherd. Gracie, can you confirm?
Hey. I can. It's Miranda.
It's Miranda with German Shepherd.
German Shepherd.
Congratulations. She takes the point. Okay, guys. Next question. Here we go. Name something you stir. Name something you stir. We're looking for number one answer. Short and sweet.
All right, Tim. This question comes from Kim, and she asks, "What's your favorite pomade?"
Oh, pomade. Wait, I can tell you because I have some. What's it called?
Dapper Dan.
Dapper Dan. I'm a Dapper Dan man.
I don't want
Pop.
I'm a Dapper Dan man.
What a geographical oddity. 2 weeks from everywhere.
2 weeks away from everywhere. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, there's some kind of like pomade called rats. It's called Rats. No, what is it called?
Rats.
I would have to take a commercial break to run 20 feet to the house.
No, we don't do that. We don't do that on the show.
No, not worth it. We've got the number one answer in the chat, by the way. Number one answer is soup for something that you stir. Gracie, who got it?
Miranda.
Oh, we've got Miranda 2 for 2. She's about to smoke you guys. Come on. Here we go. Miranda's going to take home the camo.
Next question.
By the way, Miranda says, be nice to me. I have COVID right now.
Oh, damn
she's
it.
coming in hot with the few answers.
With the virus.
Somebody had to have it.
Somebody had to have it. It's the Tim Air episode. Somebody's got to have COVID or it's not a Tim Air episode.
Honestly.
That's just terrible.
That really is. It's in terrible taste. Okay, so next Family Feud question. Name something people skip when they're running late. Name something people skip when they're running late.
Number one answer, please, in the chat, everybody. All right, Tim, this question comes from Jesse. He says, what Huntington story or lore about Huntington do you have a very interesting opinion on? What is like a story that's happened in Huntington or some sort of Huntington lore that you have an interesting opinion on, that you believe is interesting?
Huntington.
In your face, I guess.
And you can keep thinking, Tim, but I want to let everyone know the number one answer is already in the chat, so you guys can chill out. Oh, it's Mammoth.
Oh, there you go. It's already it's showing up on the screen.
But it's just like I absolutely am fascinated and love. I love the Mothman Festival. I love going to Point Pleasant and everything about it. I bought this hat up there at everything. Just and my favorite thing about Mothman is how much respect the Mothman story gets all over the world.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. So here's what happened to me recently. I'm floating on a cruise ship in the Bahamas, out in the middle of nowhere during the summer, drinking a fantastic drink at a bar. A guy plops down next to me. Of course, I start talking with him. We meet each other, and I tell him I'm from West Virginia. Immediately, he goes, "Do you know about Mothman?" I said,
I love it.
I said, "Dude, I live very close to it. There's a statue there." And he was like, me and my wife, we're obsessed with it. We've watched movies, documentaries, and we've been planning a trip to West Virginia, but we've never been. Should I go? I was like, dude, you should definitely go.
Oh, yeah, you should.
And that guy added me on Facebook a little bit after the cruise. A couple months later, he went to Point Pleasant, and he met the Mothman statue.
He met the Mothman's butt.
By the way, number one answer, the thing that you skip when you're running late is breakfast.
Oh,
Lindsay.
Ooh.
I never skipped it.
In the house, number one answer, breakfast.
Wow. Lindsay's all over this.
All right, guys, here we go. It's another
Got two
softball
for-
question. Who's going to type it first? Name something that comes in pairs. Name something that comes in pairs.
Nice. All right. We're looking for the number one answer. Also, Tim, this question comes from Michelle. She says, what is a weird thing or things your coworkers do at work? Your famous ones that are on the TV with you.
Weird things?
Weird things that your coworkers do, especially the ones on the TV.
I like it.
Okay. The ones on the TV, we have said that we don't understand why Tony Cavalier, our chief meteorologist, develops a tuberculosis-style cough in November, and it lasts all the way until like April or May. And we're like, we're like, you need to go to the TB ward. And when I had a cold a couple of weeks ago, and I had it was like a bit of a cough, it's just a cold, it's a regular old cold. I tested for COVID, it was negative, all that stuff. So it was just a cold, and I had a cough, and it was in the studio. I was chloroseptic and cough drops and stuff. And he's like, you sound worse than I do. And I was like, dude, nobody in the history of coughing has ever sounded worse than you do. And so I just think it's just like a funny thing that I harass him about, and he just but he has this heavy duty cough that it's really funny. And it's like people will come to the studio to be guests, and we'll be like, no, that's not a saber-toothed tiger behind the weather wall back there. That's our chief meteorologist.
That's our
boy. I love a good tuberculosis joke. All right, the number one answer is in the chat, by the way.
Tony C got the TB.
Number one answer is shoes. Shoes come in pairs.
Jamie.
Oh, I was thinking like a pair of because I've got the skates right there. I don't know.
Oh yeah, a pair of skates, ice skates.
Yeah,
yes.
see the ice skates hanging. Yeah,
skates
haven't been able to use them this year.
Skates do come in pairs. They're not the number one answer.
Yep.
Jamie Hatch on the board. Jamie, what's up?
Jamie in the house. That's awesome. We still got plenty of game to go here.
Jamie, are you in Tennessee? Where are you viewing from? Are you in Tennessee? I believe.
I know. I'm pretty sure she is.
I think she is. Okay, here we go, guys. Next question. Looking for the number one answer.
First, yeah.
Looking for the number one answer. Name something people commonly get tattoos of. Name something people commonly get tattoos of.
All right. So this is another question for you, Tim. This is a really quick one. Yeah, of course I do, Jamie. I know you. I just didn't know if you were in Tennessee or not.
You know me.
I know you. All right, Tim. Here you go. This is a fun one here. I want to hear it, and this is. I'm really looking forward to this one. Do you have anything to do with, or are you at all involved with, the Ramp News, the West Virginia's finest news source of etc. style news? Have you ever heard of the Ramp News?
Oh yeah,
Are you at all involved?
No, I've never heard of it. What are you talking about?
This is a suspicious answer by Tim Ear.
It is.
By Timothy Ear.
Right here.
Tim,
I don't know what these are. No,
Tim, are you at all? Do you have anything to do with them? Do you work with them? Have you financed any of their workings? Is it, anything there?
I'm not that creative. I'm not that creative. If I tried to be funny, it would not be funny, and so therefore I do not have anything to do with the Ramp. The Ramp News is from somebody who is a professional comedian, somebody who knows how to make people laugh. I don't know how to make people laugh.
He doesn't know how to do that.
I don't know. I've gone from like a New York accent.
You did a little Gilbert Gottfried there. It was a little Gilbert.
Yeah,
Gottfried.
a little bit. Yeah, it kind of went into this Yiddish thing. I'm not sure what I was doing.
That's a good direction to go.
I just want to say, and this is how I feel about it. Anytime Tim kind of goes into that sort of feeling, maybe we don't know. So we don't know the real answer, everybody. We're just going to say that.
By the way, number one answer is not in the chat, guys. Name something people commonly get tattoos of. You may as well keep guessing. Name something people commonly get tattoos of. We'll give you 20 more seconds, and then we're scooting on.
And then we'll scoot to another one. Yeah, we need more people to.
It's not flowers. It's not birds. It's not pets. It's not Bible quotes. These are great guesses, by the way.
And y'all can see the same. You can see the feed too. So if you see
Why can't I guess? I have a guess.
But you can't guess, Tim.
If they don't get it in 10 more, oh, somebody's got it. It's finally in there. Number one answer is hearts.
Jamie.
Tim, what was your guess?
Hey.
My answer was mom.
Yeah.
Oh, word. No,
That's
yeah.
a great answer.
Mom. Yeah, that's
Mom. Bam.
Hearts, number one answer, Jamie Hatch. Gracie, what is the score, by the way?
Jamie's smart.
Miranda and Jamie 2, Lindsay 1.
Jamie and Lindsay are really smart, both of them.
Okay, we got a couple people with 2. One more, they're going to take it, guys. Let's find a good question.
Let's do it. On to the next one.
On to the next one. On to the next one.
Hell yeah, Tim. Tim's a good DJ, by the way, too. Everybody.
I can just sing my own songs.
Yeah, he sings his own stuff.
Here's an interesting question.
Let's do it.
This is via Family Feud. This is not us making the questions, right? Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Name a surface in the house on which people have sex that no one would ever use again if they knew. Name a surface in the house on which people have sex that no one would use again if they knew. There you go.
I think we're going to get quick answers on this one. So, all right, got just another question for you here, Tim. Favorite sexual position?
Oh. Who is this via, by the way? Who asked this?
Monica asks this.
Thank you, Monica.
Monica asked this.
Favorite? Tamir, hey, Tamir, what's your favorite sexual position?
See what that leaves me. That leaves me into a position of trying to come up with some.
And what kind of position is that?
Witty, yes, some witty answer. It leaves me with a position like I'm like, oh, I got to come up with some witty, funny answer.
Yeah,
because I can't really talk about that.
Well, then
Flying Avatar.
The Arkansas Slam Pop.
Right.
I could just say it's my favorite is
Yeah.
I want payment and then when I had came in his hand, he came around and he got popsicle, and he came around. I didn't want anything to do with it. And I told old Deb came down. He told him, he wants. Oh, he's a big sexual guy. He won't even. I wanted. That was my favorite.
You stole it from
You've got mail.
And scene.
So
and scene. Great.
I told you what I just said. What it was. It was hidden in there.
It was right in
just
there somewhere.
saved a meme.
Guess what? I'm gonna use like CSI technology to find out exactly.
We'll figure it out and we'll post it. And
You're gonna be like, I didn't realize that he actually spoke donkey, but he does.
I had just saved a meme that goes perfectly for this, JD. It says, anytime you put a city name followed by an exercise, it sounds like a sex move. Example, a Cincinnati chin-up.
Is it number one answer in the chat?
Number one answer has been in the chat. Number one answer was table, by the way.
And Jamie takes it.
Jamie takes it.
Jamie's smart.
Jamie, you are our winner.
Well done.
Broken.
Well done.
I like Miranda.
You get
Timmy
a
broken.
CAMO Energy Shot variety pack, 250 milligrams of caffeine, no carbs, no sugar, no calories, all fun, all good stuff for you. Miranda says, piano?
And Jamie says, need to check that off the bucket list.
Check it off. Word up. Tim, thank you for being such a good sport. That was really cool. We just got a couple more things we're going to do for the show, and then we'll move
Let's
on.
scoot on. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Listen to all of our past episodes at officialholler.com.
So it turns out I had a poll this evening as well, Tim. Mine's a little bit more convoluted. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to think about it while we read Holler Nation's answers. But I would like to know from everyone, what is something that is perceived as normal at 3 p.m., but terrifying at 3 a.m.? So normal, what's normal at 3 p.m. that would be terrifying at 3 a.m.? And let's go to Holler Nation here, see what they have to say, and then we'll do a round around the table here. Because, Holler Nation, they're creative, so they've got lots of good answers here.
Yes.
So I'm going to blow through these as fast as I can here. Patrick Rail says, kids talking. Ashley in Florida, Ashley Kirkwood in Daytona Beach, Florida, says shopping at Walmart. It is a different crowd at 3 a.m. at Walmart.
You can't do it anymore at 3 a.m.
You can't do it. Those were the good old days,
Yeah,
Thanks
it
for the
was.
good old days. It's now a campfire story. You
There
got
was
to
a
tell while
time.
you're just taking a bite of Mammoth. You just talk about the good old days of Walmart 3 a.m.
Wow, we're still eating
Yeah.
Mammoth.
We're still eating Mammoth. We won't die until we eat Mammoth. Franny Coffee Bean Hunley in Kentucky says a child singing. Nikki in North Carolina says someone knocking on your door. That's a fact. That's not a good feeling at 3 a.m.
Oh, that's a good one.
LaCandace says, here's something that's terrifying at 3 a.m. My own face. Corey says, picking up kids at school. That would
Oh
be
my
weird
gosh.
at 3 a.m.
Ooh, there's some weird connotations there.
Brandon Woolham now in Nashville says, digging a hole in the backyard. Stacy says, going to Waffle House. That 3 a.m. Waffle House is different.
No, she flipped it.
She flipped it.
kinda flipped
He's
it.
right. You're right, JD. You're right.
Right. It would be
3
kind of weird to be there at
When
3 p.m.
you go at 3 a.m., it's a damn
No,
party.
awesome.
3 p.m. is like, what am I even doing here?
3
What am I
p.m.
supposed
is like, I'm on like break from work and I just need
You
some
got like your
coffee.
tie on. You're like, may I have an appetizer? They're
Yeah.
like, sir, do you want them chunked or peppered? What's up?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Right.
All right. Okay.
Andy, aka the artist known as Jonathan, says playing with kids at the park. Miranda, this was formerly my answer, by the way. Miranda stole it. She says an ice cream truck. That would be terrifying.
Yo.
We need an ice cream at 3 a.m.
Mac Gleason says
I'll
Camden
go for
Park. Scratch that. It's terrifying at all hours. Hey, listen, that's what's so fun about it. You know, you got to be down with the clown. Chrissy says, someone knocking on the door is the most basic answer that I could go to. Even at 3 p.m., a knock on the door just takes my mind to the strangers. But at 3 a.m., I would just pass out. Ethan says, searching for birds with binoculars. It's a very niche answer.
That's really good. That's very clever and like
it would be
right.
I like
those are Mothman hours at 3 a.m.
Yeah, those are moth. You should be searching for moth.
Yeah,
Lee Pennington says, one time my daughter's doll randomly said, hug me in the middle of the night. It was terrifying. Sophie says, my phone ringing at 3 a.m. Nothing good comes at 3 a.m. from a phone ringing. Rachel says, getting a package delivered to your door. And Kayla says, trying to park on 6th Avenue. Okay, let's go around the table here. JD, you have an answer for us?
I'm kind of used already. People said the knocking, but my answer was the doorbell. Like the specific
scary
ding dong. Like
I don't like that at 3 p.m.
Oh, that happened. I totally agree with you. It happened to me I don't know whether it was 3 in the morning, but it was in the middle of the night, 2, 3, 4, 5, sometime in the middle of the night, knocking at the door. We didn't have a doorbell. We couldn't afford one, but we were right over. It was over on 7th Street before we lived around the corner from your apartment. So here knocking at the door at 4. Like, what the hell's going on? And I'm stumbling out to the door, and I get to the front door, and there's a guy standing outside, and I'm looking through the front glass of the door, and there's a guy standing outside, and he holds up a stump, and he's got his arm is a stump.
That's One Arm Thomas. His name's One Arm Thomas. I know that guy.
Okay, so he's in town. Yeah, because you see him in town. He holds up a stump like this, and there's a woman standing next to him, and the only thing she has on is a T-shirt, and I guess underwear. I don't know. No pants though. No shorts, no pants. She's next to him, and he's standing there, and and I look out the window, and he's like this, like, "Hey, look, I've got this. Open the door." And I'm thinking, like, that's not a good way to start a conversation.
Can't be good
at 3 a.m.
Can't be
Is
good.
that so? I was just like, I said, I can't open the door right now. You understand that, right? I'm like yelling through the glass. He goes, no, I need some help. And I said, oh, okay, well, if you need help, let me call 911. And he goes, no. And he takes off running. And the girl standing there at the door, like she's like with him, I guess. But then I'm like, maybe she's not. I don't. And then she eventually kind of gave up and walked away too. It was bizarre.
Hey, Tim. Tim, one could say that you were probably.
I thought you honestly you could have gone one of two ways. I thought you were telling one of the best jokes I was about to ever hear in my life.
No, that's real. That's real.
Or I thought you were about to cap it off with, and then the aliens came.
Yeah.
And And they just
A guy with one hand at your door. Tim, some would say that you were probably perplexed at that situation. Others would say you were stumped. Okay, guys.
Bam, there it is. There it is, people. We did it. We did it.
Out of here.
I do have an alien story, though.
Go to Holler. You already know.
Goodbye.
I have also bumped into One Hand Thomas, by the way. That's why I know his name is One Hand Thomas. He told me. Yeah, that's all I'll say. I've bumped into him before. He's a Huntington guy.
One Hand Thomas and No-Pants Natalie.
No-Pants Natalie. No-Pants Natalie. Yeah.
Yes. Same. Miranda.
Miranda says, I'm leaving.
I'm leaving. Literally leaving. Good luck, you three. Sayonara.
All right, guys. So
you can't leave until you hear my alien story. You can't leave until.
Here's my answer for what's normal at 3 p.m. Your ATM transaction, because whatever you do at 3 a.m. is terrifying. You should not do that to your bank account.
That's a good one.
Put the card down. Don't go to
That's
your.
True. That's not a good thing.
Don't go.
Hide the wallet after midnight.
Gracie, what's up? What's up?
A crash in my house. Because my house is just utter chaos with three dogs and a child.
Yeah, so it's normal.
It's normal at 3 p.m. There's just loud chaos. But if there's a crash in my house at 3 a.m., it's probably not a good thing.
Some real deal. Oh, Lindsay asks you, Tim, could you say that your encounter with this man was cut short?
Oh man, Lindsay.
Oh man, Lindsay.
We could just leave it there for old Thomas.
Yeah,
No-Pants Natalie.
That's just kind of picking on him, but she's still smart. I still say that she's smart.
Yeah, I agree.
Tim, your answer.
Tim, give us what do you think? Like, it's at 3 p.m. it's fine, but at 3 a.m. what the hell?
I think I think that whole idea of the knock on the door, but the doll thing creeps me out. When I think about that, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to argue. And the other thing is, I think that like hearing my name, because this has happened before.
Oh, okay.
Either like if I think I hear my wife saying like my name loud, and is this a dream?
Ooh.
Or is she actually saying my name out loud?
That.
Is she in the house in
some
form of terror?
Your adrenaline
and I wake
will
up out of the dream, or is it a dream? And there's that thing. There's that moment because it's happened a couple times. It's like she's like Tim, and I'm like, well, especially when we had like, when the kids were really little, when she'd need help, like Tim, and I'd be like, but like
Tim, the poop keeps going up.
Yeah,
the poop's going up. I don't know how to.
Tim, we need you. Projectile poop is here.
Projectile poop's happening to kids.
I just, there were the times, and it's still to this day. Like I really hear I hear my name, but most of the time it's in dream form now. But that's terrifying to hear your name like yelled out at 3 a.m.
That's a good one. That really is a good one, and I'm surprised nobody else actually said it. That's like that can be multiple levels of either creepy or startling or
or real. And then
or
it's
real,
like,
man.
Guys, let me hit one more button. Let's scoot on to one more segment before we roll out of here for Holler Nation. Here we go. It goes like this.
Shots fired.
Get your shots ready. Mine's ready.
Shots fired.
It's Johnny Bootlegger o'clock. It's Eagle Rare o'clock. All right, guys, this is Shots Fired.
It's been a minute, everyone. It's been a minute since we've
been a minute. It's where we fire a shot about something while we take a shot of something. Anything goes. Light problems, small problems. The floor is yours on this segment. So you in the audience, feel free to tune in. Obviously, we're going to do our thing. JD, you want to go first on Shots Fired?
I'm cool with it. I'm totally cool with that. Again, Shots Fired. You take a shot of something while you take shots against something, which means you get to bitch. You can say whatever you want. Okay. Right now, I am doing my shots fired, or my fired shots are against water. What a fickle bitch. At a moment in time at 5 a.m. on Christmas Eve morn, a a thing.
Now I
bursts,
know where you're going.
and then all the water comes out of it, and then we have to get up and go and do all these things. Okay, water. Okay, listen, water. You're wonderful. You're really great. You bring life. It's a fantastic thing. You're tough to deal with though sometimes. So I just want to say, you pissed me off a bit recently, but I worked it all out. It's all good. But I still get to bitch if I want to. That's what Shots Fired's for, and I'm bitching about water. So hey, water, fuck you for just a little bit.
Sometimes she can be so cold, water.
Oh my gosh.
There's not a lot of water in that.
That's not a lot of water. Gracie, shots fired. Let's hear it.
Okay. Shooting my fires because, new year, same me, against my daughter.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you what this girl did.
Uh-oh.
There's 2 things this week, one yesterday and one today.
Okay.
Her birthday is Sunday.
Oh,
She'll be 7 years old.
Happy birthday. Oh.
So I sent her to school with 24 birthday invitations. I wasn't sure how many kids were in her class. Obviously, max would be 25.
Okay.
So I sent her with 24 birthday invitations. So this darling child of mine proceeds to pass them out to everybody at breakfast. So her class did not get birthday invitations.
She was excited. She was so excited.
I said, Moria, darling, these are for your class. Give them to your teacher. They're for your class. She goes, oh, no, I just pass them out myself. I said, okay, make sure everyone in your class gets one. Like we went over this several times this morning in the drop-off line.
Oh my!
I get a message from her teacher.
She got excited.
She said, yeah, she passed them out before I could get to her during breakfast. I was like,
uh-oh.
I was like, did anybody in her class go? And she said, a few. I said, okay, how many does she have left to pass out to her class? She said, 5.
Oh my gosh.
5.
Uh-oh, mom's mad.
So this is a good lesson. This is a good lesson in economics for a very small 7-year-old child.
I'm going to beat her. Tim will be reporting about me on the 11 o'clock news.
This is why socialism doesn't work.
Because I'm literally going to beat my daughter.
All the abuse right now.
I can't wait to hear that too.
You got to buy her 100 next time, Gracie. Clearly, she's popular. All right.
But wait, then I need to tell you this story because I'm going to shoot my fires about her again. I'm sorry, you have to hear it. It's been an interesting couple days with her.
You've earned this. So
her first day back at school was Thursday. They had pepperoni pizza for lunch. She doesn't love pepperoni pizza. So I made her the most beautiful lunch. I packed her the beautiful lunch. It was like half of an everything bagel with a turkey and cheese and mayonnaise.
Wow, what a great mom.
I know. Yeah. And I sliced her up some cucumbers and tomatoes and ranch. I put a chocolate cookie and chips and made lunch tomorrow now. Yeah. I should have taken a picture. It was a beautiful lunch.
I'm coming to your restaurant.
My child has the audacity to tell me as picking her up from after school care, Mommy, I didn't have time to eat all my lunch today. I said, well, what did you eat? She said, well, I ate the cookie and my chips, of course, and some of my oranges and half of my sandwich. I said, Moria, why did you not have time for you got to eat your veggies, baby. It's what's in your sandwich. It's what's going to fill you up. She said, well, I got a tray and ate the corn off of it. I said, why did you get a tray whenever I packed your lunch? I made this beautiful lunch for you. Why'd you get a tray? She said, well, there was chocolate pudding on it, and I wanted the chocolate pudding.
Hey, she's honest at least, That's shooting you straight.
So the audacity of my child the past 2 days, I don't know where she got it.
I'm not going to argue with
my almost 7-year-old.
At the audacity of
Gracie, I'll do this one with you. I know you need it.
Hashtag kids are fun, they said.
Kids are gnarly.
There. All right. So I typically use this segment to be really funny and just shoot a really dumb fire. I have specifically saved it for this episode, Tim, because this might be some info that you want to pass on. Dead serious about this. This is a real Huntington local shots fired. Okay. Because I work near this site and I see a problem that's going to happen here. Seriously, pass this on to the higher ups that set a camera up. I promise you're going to see what I'm about to say. So, Marshall's football stadium, and I'm talking about Marshall's campus area. So their football stadium, where the rec center is, we're talking 20th Street in between 5th Avenue and 3rd Avenue. Marshall has now designated a new walkway for students.
I've seen it.
to make a safer walkway. We've all driven through it at this point. I drive through it like 4 times a day because I work right there by the football stadium. So anyway, what I've noticed from basically living in this area 5 days a week, 4 times a day is, sure, the walkway was needed. It makes it safer for the students. It's a great thing, and it's good to slow the drivers down as well. And they kind of built a curb up right there. They put some pedestrian lights there. But the problem is, there's a very big sign that says, as a pedestrian, if you're going to walk across the walkway, you need to hit the button that lights the flashers up, and it tells all the cars to stop. Otherwise, the cars are basically going to just blow through there. Now, they're not supposed to blow through there, but they are supposed to just yield and keep driving. Now, what I noticed
is depend on people.
I would say probably 85% of people do not hit the button. They just simply start walking. Well, I've got this one friend who's got like a mom that's never in the area. She said her mom sped through that like 40 miles an hour, and people were just like aimlessly walking through it because they just assumed, well, there's these signs up. I'm telling you, man, somebody for sure, and this is bad timing, by the way, locally. I've had the shots fired, by the way, for like a month now. I've had the shots fired written down for like a month. I was saving it. It's really bad timing locally, as we all know, but seriously, someone's going to get hit by a car right there. It's going to be tragic. Yeah. And if we could just set something up maybe on the news and just show how many students walk by and they don't hit that button, it's all of them.
Great idea.
Yeah. It's not just students. It's everybody that uses that
walkway.
Yeah,
the rec center
anybody who goes in that walkway.
Public. So anybody can get a rec center.
Right. So everybody walking through is roughly doing that. Now, there's 20% of people that are hitting the button, but man, I'm telling you, it's bad. It's 80% not hitting.
The button, by the way, works. I want to let everybody know it works.
It flashes. It stops the cars.
Flash these really bright LEDs that you can't not miss. If anyone else is going through there, you will stop.
Just hit the button, guys. If you're walking through, just hit the button. That's what it's there for. Maybe we need a refresher, like out on the news in front of everybody. I don't know, but like I can tell you, going through there, it's scary. I see cars just blow through it. I see people, kids, aimlessly just walking through there. Something bad's going to happen. Shots fired at basically the people not pressing the button, because I think everything's set up properly.
That they could do one of two things. I wish they could either have a pad that you walk across, and when you step on it, it activates the button.
Ooh, or that's a really good idea.
On one of those, like on the, I forget where it is, in the interstate in New York, where they put the bridge, the wildlife bridge over the interstate, and you see all the animals crossing up.
Send them over to. I like that.
They need to put the bridge
like
over.
The engineering building.
Stairs like this.
Yes.
And you got to go up the stairs and down the stairs.
It's a good workout.
It's a good
workout. You're already going there to work out. Come on.
It's a good workout. Start your pre-workout up and down the stairs.
Meet me at the Marshall Arc. Meet me at the Arc. I'll see you there at the top.
The Arc with the Arc.
I don't want to be the guy that I don't want to be the guy that says I told you so in this scenario. So I really hope that we don't like meet up and say, "See, I told you someone was going to get it." I don't want it to happen. Let's get that fixed, guys. Shots fired.
Yeah.
Word, do it.
Yep. I agree.
I agree. Now, here's the deal. We only got a couple more things to do here on this show, and then we're done for the evening.
Tim's got to fire a shot.
Tim's got to fire a shot.
Oh, okay.
There's some exclusive news coming.
Yeah.
So Tim fires a shot, and there's some more exclusive news coming.
Okay.
There's not a lot happening up there in this old brain. Okay. They got on easy. You know, but they don't see if you know,
See, there's not a lot. This is what my family has to deal with. They're like, Dad, you've done that before. Yeah, I know. I've done it before. But my shots fired is not about those unappreciative members of my family who don't appreciate the true humor of an actual thespian.
The thespian,
they're not. That's not that.
Thespians do it on stage with a script.
It's these two creatures that are in here with me right now. These two creatures. Yeah. This is Sadie.
Hi, Sadie.
Hey, Sadie.
Oh, Sadie.
Hey, Sadie. Wake up.
Don't fire a shot at Sadie. Look how great she is.
Okay, so Sadie's awesome. Love
Hi,
Sadie and everything like
she's
that.
Fantastic.
But Sadie has these feet that are like they're like Frito. We call them Frito feet.
Yeah. Frito chips.
They smell like
Yeah.
Fritos corn chips. And Sadie's awesome.
Ooh.
Like we love Sadie. Everybody loves Sadie. But Sadie has Frito feet.
So
Frito feet.
Sadie's Frito feet. So I wish I could. And then this one over here, Peanut.
That's two. Tim is firing them off right now. Everybody.
Yeah.
Oh,
So there's
Peanut.
Peanut, who actually has two names. Her name is Peanut Chablis. My daughter and wife call her Chablis. I call her Peanut. Her born
Peanut
name
Chablis.
is Peanut. So Peanut is she's getting to the point now where she's like, you know what? If you don't take me out, I'm just going to go on the rug. She's 18 years old.
No.
Yeah, I mean, look at her.
She's an adult.
She's 18.
Peanut, old lady.
She's a battler. Like, look at her.
That's what's going on.
She doesn't really look 18. I mean,
No, not at all.
No.
So,
Peanut,
so
you
that's
don't look a day over
my
two.
shots fired are dogs. We love them. We love them. We can't live without them. We can't
Family
live
got to
without them.
understand
We've
the
always
humor.
had dogs. I
These
love
Fritos-
dogs. I just think they're terrific. But their feet smell like Fritos and they stink up the house. And you have to constantly, I'm washing her feet all the time because my wife will come into the, because of course they have to sleep in our room, in our bedroom. So, and we have their dog beds. And so their dog beds, like, and my wife will walk in the room. She'll come back in the morning after she wakes up 3 hours before I do. And then she'll, after her coffee, she'll come upstairs and I'll be sleeping in the room with the dogs. And she'll go, this room stinks. This room absolutely stinks. And I can't argue with her. I'm not going to be like, no, it doesn't. I can't smell anything. I had COVID, I mean, I can smell it even through my COVID nose. So yeah, I love the dogs, but the Frito feet stink. And then Peanut, like, love you, girl, but you're 18 and I don't think your bladder is quite what it used to be. So we love them. We love them. We love them.
We do love them. We love our families too, no matter how.
Shouts and shots to Peanut.
Yeah, right. Shots fired in a good way.
Shots fired the best way.
That couldn't have been better, Tim. I do want to say though, there is a new. It's coming. Here, I got it. It's coming through the wire, Tim. There's one more exclusive, some fake news story that apparently is coming right through, and we might need that. Brian, are you, Brian?
1 second, let me click the button here to upload this story. Surely we can get it to Tim. Here we go.
The most recent polar vortex that occurred over the Christmas break that left many people with broken pipes and some with no water has actually brought the real Sasquatch out of hiding. He has been quoted to say, quote, "It was crazy cold in my secret hut." He also said that while he's been out, he's been looking for Mothman and that they have a score to settle. The giant Yeti was quoted to say, "That dude owes me $12."
Fantastic. And there you have it. There you have it. Real fake news.
Real fake news.
Great. I love that. Brought to you by CAMO.
Yes, brought to you by CAMO and shotgunsquad.com.
By the way, Tim, thank you for saying that the way you just did, because that's now also going to be a soundbite on the show.
What? Brought to you by CAMO.
Brought to you by CAMO.
Brought to you by
CAMO Energy Shots.com. It's 250
for that.
We get
We'll send you a buck.
We'll pay you in a variety pack.
We'll pay you in Bitcoin, Tim.
Yeah, that's how, only in Bitcoin.
The guy, he'll never cash it in. We'll be fine.
And Fritos, because that way I'll spread the Fritos around the bedroom, and I'll be like, "It's not the dogs, it's the Fritos."
It's the Fritos.
Holler Nation, thank you guys so much for hanging in there this evening. Tim,
Wait.
thank you so much. Thank you
I have
so
a
much
question for Tim before we leave.
Gracie has a question. Here we go. Let's do it.
Yes, Gracie.
All right, Timmy Wimmy, I'm about to call you out. Are you ready?
Uh-oh.
Why have you not had Holler on First Look at 4?
Ooh,
is it?
That's a really good question. What's First Look at 4?
Oh, that's a great answer.
Yeah.
What's that?
Keep that in your little nugget. Keep that little nugget right in there.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like a
Tim
shot.
Wimmy. Actually, I've changed it. My shots fired is now at Timmy Wimmy ear.
I want to be on the TV. I can put you on the TV. I know a guy.
So do I.
Yeah.
No, that'd be cool.
That'd be
cool. Could all three of you come on?
Yeah.
I think we could. Yeah.
Sure.
We'd
Let's
make it
do
work.
it. All right. That's wonderful.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
All y'all, you heard it here first.
as if I have any power to make that happen. But I'll try. I'll talk to.
He knows a guy who knows a guy. Tim, thank you so much for being on the show.
I'll talk to the guy.
Thank you for taking time out of your evening to be on the show. We know you did.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, you're fantastic as always. You're our first episode. You're our COVID episode, and you're our 100th episode. Eventually, when we get big enough, we will have a statue of you outside of Holler headquarters. Until then, we're just podcasting from our basement with holes in the wall and the ceiling.
Gonna be made out of cow dung, probably.
You never know. You never know, man.
But it'll be in bronzed. It'll be.
I'd be honored either way, even if you make it out of cow dung. Thanks for having me on here. It's really a thrill. It's fun. I love doing this, and I can't thank you guys enough.
Thank you. And you know what? Next time, hopefully, we have all of our ducks in a row. We can do this in person. It'd be fantastic to see you again in person.
Yep.
Until
200th show, and I'll be a really old man then.
Until then, I'm going to jam a bunch of buttons. Holler Nation, we're going to get you guys out of here. Thanks for sticking with us late this evening with Tim here. We will see you guys later.
Arby's, we have the meats.
Not sponsored. Not sponsored. That's good. I like that one.
Sponsored.
Sponsored right there.
Who are you calling a cootie queen, you lint liquor?
All right, guys. See you later.